We are live. What's everybody? What's up, everybody? Tennessee Bassmaster, you can't bear the anticipation. Right on. What's up, everybody? How are you doing tonight? It is Tyler with Hook Sets Are Free. Hope everybody's doing well. It is 9 o'clock here, Mountain Standard Time, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. For those of you, most of you who are watching on the East Coast, I see Brendan in the house. I see Scott in the house. What's up? Michael Bradley, happy St. Patty's Day to you as well. We're going to be pouring a drink in just a second. All right. Tennessee Bassmaster. Sorry I was 3 minutes late, my man. It is the end of spring break for me. Spent the last week in the mountains with my family and hosted a couple of different groups of people up there, had a blast in the mountains, and I'm excited to be back. So glad I could spend the evening with a few of you guys and talk about baits per usual. So I've got a package in from Discount Tackle, but before we bust that open, I'm drinking a beer that I tried yesterday for the first time ever, and it is absolutely fantastic. This is the Glenwood Springs Brewery Vapor Cave IPA. And I was super impressed with it that I felt the need to take home a 6-pack for myself and one for my friends and take home a little tasting glass as well because this is cool and super cute. So I'm going to drink this one beer as like 3 or 4 little tasters tonight and then probably pour myself a bourbon into this glass as well. So cheers to everybody, drinking or not, on this St. Patrick's Day 2023. Sorry for my little goggle tan from skiing last week, but what can you do? Cheers, everybody. Tom Mix, Matt, Adam, what's up, everybody? Yes, Adam, you came on at the perfect time. Did I come on at the perfect time or did you? I don't know. There's 9 of you guys in here right now, and you're all coming in at the perfect time. Cheers. This is a probably a 4-ounce little pour here, and it's fantastic. I'll set this over here. All right, so you guys know what time it is. It is that time of the month. No, I don't have my period. In fact, I've never gotten one. This is this month's Discount Tackle unboxing. So if somehow, some way you're watching this right now and you are already not familiar with Discount Tackle, not already familiar, Discount Tackle is one of my favorite places to shop online for tackle. I'll show you real quick what the website looks like. It looks exactly like the screenshot from, or should I say the thumbnail from tonight's video. And I will share with you what it looks like. This is the homepage here. You should use my affiliate link if you are going to purchase anything through Discount Tackle. We will toggle back and forth between these tonight to be able to show you some cool footage and additional information on these lures. These, honestly, are baits I don't already have for the majority. I think almost all of these are baits that I do not already have. And some are new, some are not, but I think you will find a lot of these pretty interesting. So it'll make for some good conversation regardless. But you're right, Brendan. We kind of do need Daniel in here for some links. I'll go ahead and repost my affiliate link in the live chat right now, since I've got it up handy. If you guys are wanting to use it, I would greatly appreciate that. But either way, it doesn't save you a whole lot more. In fact, it doesn't save you any more on tackle, but Discount Tackle is, in my opinion, one of the best places, if not the best place, day in and day out to save money on your tackle. They run different sales all the time. And so, as we just saw a second ago, right now they are running 10% off of Berkeley every day, 15% off of Z-Man, and there's a whole bunch more than that. So I will show you what I got and what deals I got on this awesome tackle. Some of it might be a little bit weird. I'll say that. Daniel, you're fired. Welcome to the show, Daniel. I don't know why you didn't get a notification. Maybe you don't have them turned on. No problem, dude. All right. So, as I always do, I'm going to show you this month's sticker. That's not new, but it is cool. Little thank you card saying that spear point hooks are in stock. You know what hooks I'm actually excited about coming out are the new VMC Redline hooks. Have you guys seen much about those? And are you also excited to try them? Because historically, I have not had a great relationship with VMC hooks. And this new line of hooks looks to be pretty sweet. Super sharp and with a UV resin sealed eyelet so that your knot is protected at all times. And they look nice. So I am excited and curious to try them, but unfortunately they're not available to the masses just yet. So it's not like I have any in this unboxing or anything like that. Oh, Daniel, don't say that. Why? Why, dude? Don't say that. Brennan says, how tall is this sticker pile? It's pretty big. I'll just say that. So here is a little preview of what we got. $84, okay? Didn't want to show you too close what I got, but this is $84, so you can do the math on that in terms of what we saved. In fact, I don't think it says exactly what the retail value is of all these things, but I will certainly tell you what I paid for them, okay? Brendan says VMCs are not good. Yeah, no, I hear that, but apparently these hooks are supposed to be made better. So I'm not totally sure. What? Daniel, they didn't give you a sticker? They said I have them all. Well, I need to send you like one of every design because I've got a bunch and I haven't stuck them to everything. So, you know, I'll send you some regular ones, some of these new ones, some of the old 4th of July ones. And got the camo in green and the camo in blue. I have kind of a lot, especially if you consider that these are like one per order. Although, didn't I get a massive stack of these ones last summer? Didn't they send me like a huge stack of them? I need to hook you guys up with stickers. Trocar rules. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I really do like Trocar hooks, and they're made right here in my backyard in Denver. Not going to do that because it's as much my car as hers. So, no. Adam says, I hate to say it, but Monster Bass has the best stickers. Okay. You don't have to hate to say it. That's fine, dude. Everyone's got an opinion. No big deal. You know, the hooks that I'm more excited about these days than the Red Point or the VMC Red Point are just BKK hooks in general. I am going to make a point to try more of them this year. So we will see. Okay. So Frank says, if there's a sticker in my Omnia box, I'll bring it with me when we go fishing, Danny boy. Are you guys big sticker people or what? Man, I'm flying through this beer. It's so delicious. I should just start showing tackle so that I forget about the beer. Should I go random, just top to bottom? What's up, Hello Bass? And fellow tackle junkie. Well, maybe to keep Hella engaged, we should open the wild stuff first. Check out this bait, guys. This is way out of left field. Rich, good to see you in here, by the way. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Cheers if you're having something to drink before bed. And cheers if you're not. No big deal. Guys, this is a bait that I bet almost none of you have. Do you have this bait? This is the Nomad Squid Trex. What in the world? This is a saltwater bait that, because of what I saw about it, intrigued me enough to check it out, okay? I will show you the bait first, and then I will show you the video of it. This thing is wild. Hella says, I like mild better. More of a meat and potatoes tackle guy. Okay, well, I'll show you the mild right after this one. I was trying to keep you engaged. This is all for you, Rich, even though you might never throw this bait. So this thing is wild, all right? This is the smallest model of this bait, and it measures 95 millimeters, 3 1/4 inches. So pretty small lure, all things considered, and it weighs an ounce. The cool thing about this bait is this thing doubles as a vertical jigging bait and soft lipless crankbait. And, you know, it's got the classic double hook system here that is really designed for saltwater. So I don't know if you can find a similar hook system that is more designed for freshwater. These hooks are, you know, pretty heavy duty and made for saltwater, but you could certainly put a treble hook or anything you want on the back of this. There is a split ring attachment, but this bait right here obviously looks just like a squid, but it's heavy weighted and has a very interesting swimming action. So I am curious and kind of fascinated by this bait. Let me show you some of what Discount Tackle has on their website about this bait because it's interesting. Squid Trex. All right, so here she is. And let me just show you this video. Yo, what did you guys think about that? I don't know if, sorry, I was distracted by my daughter in the background who is awake right now, but what I wanted to show you was really this. Yo. All right, so that is what caught my attention is that this thing is so thin in profile and swims just like a traditional lipless crankbait. You can see it's got the profile of a lipless crankbait, but it's made of a TPE stretchy material. And it's infused with squid scent, which I think we all know by now is effective on bass. So I am very intrigued by this lure. I'll say that. Do I have high expectations for it? No. But am I excited about it? Yes. So who knows? You can see Frank rocking out to that music. I hear you. Yes, Hella. I'm not sure which of the two it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a bait. Yeah, I mean, obviously it is designed to do a specific thing, but I like to keep an open mind and sometimes think outside the box. But for the sake of keeping Rich engaged, let's go more middle of the pack, mild as he said. Boom. Okay, got another color of the Shimano Macbeth flat side. Okay, so that Squid Trex, by the way, is the 95 size, weighs 1 ounce. Like I said, it retails. What does it retail at? $14.99. I'm not sure if that's discounted or if that is standard, but you can see that this bait is really designed for saltwater and comes in some ridiculous sizes. So it goes up from that 3 3/4. It said 3 1/4, up to 4 1/3, which is almost 2 ounces, 5 inches at over 3 ounces, and then 6 inches and 4.5 ounces. So this can certainly be a big bait, really designed for saltwater fishing. Comes in some UV colors and some glow white, some pearls, some crawdads. This Cali red color is gnarly. But I thought that this straight green gold gizzy, would be a great natural crawfish imitator. So that is why I got it. Just saying. But next up, let's get a little bit more inside the box. And this is the Shimano Macbeth flat side. This is, I think, the third color that I have of it. And this is really to just round out for conditions. And where's my flat side box? I'll show you the other two colors that I have in this bait as of right now. And so between the three, I think I should be good in most situations and water clarities. I've got this standard Pro Blue, which is going to be perfect in super clear water. I've got a standard Bluegill, which is going to be excellent in pretty much most water conditions, but especially where there are bluegill and perch present. And then this guy's going to be for a little bit muddier of water that I will be fishing here in the next couple of weeks with that spring runoff. I will have some dirtier water. I visited one of my home lakes just last week, just stopped by to see how it was doing because my local neighborhood pond finally thawed, but it's tiny and there's no bass that live in it. So I went to my normal spot. Well, perhaps the most common spot that I go to. I probably go there upwards of 50% of the time that I fish. And it was like 20% thawed. So there was just enough open water to like make some casts. But yeah, I only had a few minutes on my hands before I had to pick my daughter up from school. And I didn't catch any fish. I was wanting to throw a jerk bait, and I forget what else I threw, but only had about 10 casts per. I think I threw a finesse jig in addition to a jerk bait. But let's catch up on the comments real quick while I tell my daughter to go back upstairs. Yeah. You guys got some rat brains today, huh? I was not on the ball about that. I didn't know they were coming out, or that TK was releasing them until I checked the Instagram chat just like an hour ago. So whoops a daisies. Maybe they're still available. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Hella said that he was ordering the. Wow, are you guys are flying? What bait did you say you got instead of the Macbeths? Not Fritz eyes, but what did you say? Blings. Yeah. Well, I got a couple blings as well. I'm excited to throw those. I think, generally speaking, the bling has a better reputation because it was out before, and then has been re-released. And also, it's a little bit of a different presence in the water. That is a very high-pitched and loud rattle. So I think it'll have its place for sure. But the Click and Fritz side, I think, is definitely going to have a place as well. So between those and, the OG Tiny and, the Chick Magnet Junior, I don't know where I have the juniors sitting, but those and the Evergreen Flat Force and the Spro Little Johns all kind of fit into that same category of being real small bodied crankbaits. I will say I'm on the verge of buying a couple more of the Lucky Craft KJ Flats. We can talk about that a little bit later in the stream if you guys would like, but I do get nervous when we talk about stuff like that if I haven't already made a purchase, because remember what happened last time I unboxed those and you guys all rushed to pick them up as well, and I didn't have a chance to go pick up second and thirds in some of the colors that I really liked, and they're still out of stock. So we'll talk about that more. But whatever, Matt. I think this is a good size to start out with. I like a smaller side, flat side myself. It's an interesting taper on this bait where it's almost narrower in the nose than it is at the tail, which you usually tend to see more of a reversed design than that, where it's tapered at the tail and fatter at the nose. Like the best example I can give you is the OG Slim on that, right? As well as the 6th Sense. So I'll just show you these two real quick. Jeez. Making a mess of my tackle box. So here is the OG Slim. You see that it's fatter in the nose and then tapers down to a narrower tail. That is a little bit more traditional. Tend to see that in more baits, but the Macbeth is almost the opposite, which is kind of interesting. So I will report back on what that actually means to me at a later date, but just an observation. I will say the one flat side that I am very excited to throw this season as well is the 6th Sense Flat Finesse Force 4, and it's got that same taper where it's wider in the nose than it is in the tail. But what I really like about this is the weight transfer system, as well as that very loud one knocker style sound, which to me, I think might be the ticket. So definitely louder than, say, what you get out of the Click and Fritz side, but a lot of good flat sides that I'm hoping to really put to use over the next month, maybe 2 months. But yeah, you lost sound for a reason, and I hope you didn't see what I said to her. But yeah, I wasn't very happy. Sorry, I gotta catch up real quick. Yeah. What's up, Dave Jolly? And welcome to the Instagram chat. Apparently, I didn't notice that you weren't in it, but I saw that you were grateful to everyone and happy to be welcomed to the chat today. So, what's up? We got 20 people in here right now, guys. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button real quick. And we're going to keep plowing through this unboxing as I finish this beer because it's too good. Yep, that was exactly a 4-ounce pour like I thought. So one more time, guys, this is the Glenwood Canyon Vapor Cave IPA. So good. I don't know if you'd be able to find it anywhere, honestly. Glenwood Springs, Glenwood Canyon is a really cool part of Colorado, about 3 hours west of me, about an hour west of Vail, where I go frequently to do my wintertime skiing and was for the past week. So got to go to the natural hot springs yesterday with the family and then to the brew pub across the street for lunch and some beers. And it was super fun. Yeah, no, I think you're right, Matt. And I wouldn't be surprised if, just like everybody else, they eventually do put out a larger flat side crankbait. I mean, Shimano's new to the US market with their lures. So let's not assume that it's a one and done with the Macbeth flat side in that 57 size. No, Dave, neither one is balsa. Adam's been using the Brat, and I don't blame you, dude. That is a really good square bill. So this is the 6 Sense Finesse Flat 4. Too bad Jermaine's not in here to tell us more about it and why it's the best bait in the world, along with every other 6 Sense bait. You know, if he was in here, I'd start talking about 6 Sense up the wazoo, but they make some really good baits, dude. I think we've talked about it enough, but 6 Sense and their color patterns, as well as just their designs, are really good. I think some of their baits are a little bit too oversized for the bodies of water that I fish most frequently, but great baits. Yeah, well, they're still on sale now, dude. It's just the colors are not great. Don't put that on blast right now because I am going to make that purchase, and we'll talk about it again in about another week. At least I think. All right. Interesting. I don't know about that, but maybe. Yeah, Brennan, I really hope that your brand of baits takes off. And I think it certainly could with the help of all of us that you know. Not to say that I have much influence, but uh, I will in the future. And I think you will too, Brennan. You've got quite the talent when it comes to bait making. I will say that. So keep it up, dude. For your age, sky's the limit, man. I mean, was TK just saying yesterday or today that something about how he hasn't had paint bleed on him in 7 years? Has he only been painting professionally for 7 years? Because if that's the case, dude, you're going to be light years ahead of him and everybody else in a short period of time. So keep up the good work, man. And please keep sharing all the trial and error with us. I thought it was interesting, a little bit funny, but mostly unfortunate to hear that you had just made 50 of those giant flat sides, did all the work on them up till sealing them, and then tested them, and you don't like the action of them. Sorry to hear that, man, but obviously that's part of the game, right? Frank, I didn't see that, but Dave, take it easy, man. We all love Frank, but we also do love to bust his balls a little bit. So, all right. I'm just going to skip some of these comments so that I can be kind of up with you guys. But yeah, Adam, I think you might have to pick up some as well. It's a really good looking bait, and I like the profile of it better than the Flat 75X from 6th Sense, even though that's much more of a subtle sound. I think this is going to be a more subtle profile and a louder sound, which just is different. And I'm a sucker for a one knocker. You guys are going to see that with one bait in this package. Maybe I'll be able to snag it right now and show it to you. A couple of Yo-Zuris in here. But guys, this right here is the Yo-Zuri Rattlin' Vibe in the new one knocker sound. I did not know that they made the Rattlin' Vibe in a one knocker, because you guys have heard me talk about how the Rattlin' Vibe is one of my favorite lipless crankbaits, probably roughly in my top 5. And, you know, I mostly throw the Rattlin' Vibe in the smaller colors, or smaller sizes, right? But listen to the sound. The standard Rattlin' Vibe puts off. Very high-pitched rattles in that guy, but it's got a nice profile. And displaces just a little bit more water, and I think swims a little bit better on a straight retrieve than a lot of other lipless crankbaits, right? I mean, you take a red eye shad, for example, and this is a bait that you really want to let fall due to its shimmy. There are different baits that do different things. Here's that Nomad Swim Trex that actually swims on the way down and is made to be a rip and fall bait, right? So kind of similar, but this bait is going to shimmy down and not swim down with the red eye shad. And, you know, there's a ton of different lipless crankbaits on the market. You know, we've talked about the Lucky Craft LV 150 that last year I was a big fan of, and I still am. But in terms of one knockers, there's really not a ton of baits on the market that have that sound. And so like 6th Sense makes the Quake in a thud version, which is a very like muted sound, whereas Strike King makes the hard knock. No, the Tungsten 2-tap, right? So you can see 2-tap on the side there. Very metallic sound there. But really, those were all to imitate or compete with the Excalibur and now the Booyah one knocker, okay? And you hear a different sound here. Higher pitch with the Strike King. Whoops. So you get different sounds with all of them, and therefore different value with all of them. But here we go. This is the Rattlin' Vibe in the new one knock. Ow. So interesting. This is like an in-between sound, not nearly as loud as the Tungsten 2-tap or the Booyah one knocker, but it's definitely louder than, say, the Quake Thud from 6th Sense. And it is still that distinct one knock sound. I'll say one thing Yo-Zuri does that I don't love is that when they print stuff on their baits, it's a super generic font that is just ugly, right? Because this bait right here is beautiful. The paint job on it and the design, the colors, got kind of that matte crawfish color. Does have a weight transfer system. Interesting. So maybe this is going to cast even better than an average lipless crank of this size. And one thing that I've mentioned about the Yo-Zuri Rattle and Vibe that I like better than others is that it's heavier for its size compared to the rest. So this is a standard 2.5-inch size that ought to weigh a 1/2 ounce, and it weighs 5/8 of an ounce. Just like the other ones that are smaller and ought to weigh a 1/4 ounce, these guys are 3/8 of an ounce. So anyway, I'm a fan of the Rattle and Vibe and decided to get one of them in the Hard Knock. So let me catch you up on the prices of those last two baits. You know, the Shimano Macbeth, I don't think is on sale ever. It's $11.99. So pick this up in chartreuse blue. And then this guy right here from Yo-Zuri, the Rattle and Vibe 1 knock was on sale. I think these baits retail for $10, which is a good deal, but $7.49. So I don't think Daniel can do this, but I will do it for you right now and pull up a little link for you. Well, somehow it's $8.59 right now. I guess I just got a better deal on it because of timing. You know, you do have to kind of pay attention to discount tackle. And oftentimes I'm buying what I am because of the deal, right? You guys know that, and I've talked about that forever. Is just I like to shop good deals. So I'm pasting in the comments right now the link to that 1 knocker. Currently $8.59, still a good deal, but interesting. Caught a bunch of pike on the Yo-Zuri end of season. Nice. Specifically the Rattle and Vibe or a different Yo-Zuri bait? Because I have another Yo-Zuri bait, but it's a little bit outside the box, so maybe I shouldn't show you right now. Should I wait for you to leave, Rich? You know what? I'm going to mix it up, dude. I'm going to keep you on your toes and show you this wild bait. I have a couple of these in the larger size. I don't know that I have many in this smaller size. Of course, we could check. It's a top water. So I don't order a ton of top waters this time of year, but it's in this category of baits. Okay. And yes, this is the Yo-Zuri Top Knock Pencil, specifically in a saltwater version, saltwater color. And this is pink silver chartreuse. Yo. I was just in a sort of out of the box mood. Rich says Vixen or go home. Yeah, I do know that Rich is a big Vixen guy and also likes to keep his tackle relatively simple. So I get it. But okay, so you were throwing the Rattle and Vibe last year. Well, this is the Yo-Zuri Pencil, specifically in the Top Knock version. So you can see that this ball in the rear section is what makes the noise. This is a 1 knocker style topwater walking bait, and it's quality. Okay. I do like this bait, but I think I only had it in the bigger sizes until now, and maybe only 1 or 2 of them, if we're being honest. That is loud. So here's the Yo-Zuri pencil popper. And look at what I'm talking about. That printing on the top to tell you what the bait is. It's kind of obnoxious, but this is their pencil popper walking bait. And then, oh, I think the 5-inch Top Knock that I have is actually in one of my kids' tackle boxes. I took the split rings and hooks off. My kids each have a tackle box of their own. Wouldn't you do the same if you had such an excessive amount of tackle yourself, were a collector, and your kids were interested. So check out this color, guys. Pink on top, clear with all of this flash on the side, and then a translucent chartreuse belly. Does this not scream smallmouth to you? I have a few specific bodies of water that I fish for smallmouth and have not really triggered them on top water the last couple seasons. They will eat a drop shot really well. They'll eat a chatterbait. They'll eat most things on bottom very well. But I really want to get them to eat on top a little bit more frequently. So this I have in mind for that one or two specific bodies of water. And I'm kind of excited about it, honestly. Definitely outside the box for me. But that bait right there was also $7.49. Fantastic deal, and such a cool color that you really don't see in a lot of other topwater baits. So smallmouth it is on that one. Interesting. Yo-Zuri pencil is a good bait. Obviously not the only bait, but there are not a ton of walking baits that have this low pitch. Actually, that's not that low, but it's different. It's like you can hear how solid, how thick the plastic walls are on this bait. It's a very loud rattle. Oh, Daniel T. Oh, Daniel, you're on it, my brother. All right. Well, then let's keep it rolling. If you're going to do the links like that, dude, no, those aren't my links. I really need to give you the link to convert these over. But I suppose if you guys are using my affiliate link to start out with, the one that I posted at the top here, then it doesn't matter. You don't need the individual link to any one of these products. Also, Daniel, what you could just do is add this little code onto the end of any URL, and it will attach my affiliate link. Okay. Question AFF equals 3 is my affiliate link. Yep. So $7.49 is what I paid just 5 days ago for it, 4 days ago. It's now up to $8.59, but still, I think the retail on them is $9.99. Let's keep it moving. I do have a couple packs of soft plastics, and maybe we ought to. No, let's stay on hard baits because there's only a couple. Holy moly, this bait. I honestly don't have any of these right now, and I'm super excited to have this, partially because of the color, but also partially because of the bait. And this right here is the Lucky Craft Pointer 128 in the laser rainbow trout color. So the laser rainbow trout color is, in my opinion, a sleeper color. It seems to look a little bit different now than it used to. I don't know where my Pointer 65s are right now to be able to show you that the old version of this color pattern, but laser rainbow trout, this definitely looks bolder and not quite as chromy as it ordinarily does. But this Lucky Craft Pointer 128 is a bait that I have none of. Okay, so you get a pearlescent with some green on the bottom, which maybe you can kind of see it in that light. And then you get a pretty realistic rainbow trout pattern here and in a long profile. So in my mind, this is going to get thrown here in the next month as a lot of my bodies of water begin to stock trout. And the bass are going to be moving up and feeding on some of those trout. So check this puppy out. This is a standard Lucky Craft pointer jerkbait, but in the upsized version. So 3 treble hooks, which I really like, because until just a year or two ago, the Lucky Craft pointer series was like strictly a 2-hook bait until you got to the 128 and the 158. I think they make a 158. But the pointer 100, fantastic bait, only came in 2-hook models until like last year or the year before. So, you know, the pointer 100 is an awesome 4-inch jerkbait. Super loud, very aggressive action. In my opinion, more of like a late spring and year-round type of jerkbait. But one of the main downsides, in my opinion, is that it's a 2-hook jerkbait. So the fact that they made the pointer 100 H3 was cool, but I like this upsized profile and the fact that it's got 3 hooks on it for this rainbow trout pattern. So boom, there she is, laser rainbow trout. And that bait was on sale for $15.29. Okay. And Daniel T with it again. Appreciate you, dude. I love it. Daniel is so on it. All right, guys, let's keep her rolling. We've got, I think maybe we're down to plastics and terminal. So let's talk about the one that I'm perhaps the most interested in. I don't even want to say most excited about. And that's this guy. Okay. So the Berkley Powerbait Power Stinger in the 4.25-inch size. If you didn't know, the smaller size that's 3.5-inch is too small to be a bladed jig trailer, if we're being honest. But this 4.25 is like primo. And so I'm interested. I will say, from the limited stuff that I've seen by doing research about it, I'm not all that jazzed by the action, but how many bladed jig trailers are you jazzed about the action of until you start catching fish on them? I don't know. Here's the problem with this bait is there's 5 in a pack, and even on sale, these guys were $8.09. Okay. So still not super cheap. 5 baits for $8. That is more expensive than a Yamamoto Seiko by a while. You know, I think you get like 6 or 7 baits in a pack for like $7 full retail for those. And that is like the original best chatterbait trailer of this style, where you get a straight tail and a segmented body. But holding this thing, I suppose I'm a little bit more impressed with its action than I thought I was going to be, because if I pull this up for you, which I'm gonna, let's take a look at it. Now their video is kind of like over the top, but right there, look at that. It's not moving a lot. That's subtle. So that's not moving a tremendous amount, right? Like, looking at it, it looks like it should move more than it does, but I guess the Seiko bends over like this, right? So I do wonder. Here's a Seiko. Look at that. So yeah, pretty different. in terms of how much fold over you get. And everybody knows that this is the deal, has been for years and years. So the Power Stinger is one of the handful of baits that's come out on the market to be a specific chatterbait trailer, but also perhaps be a versatile bait. But it's made to be a perfect match with the Slobber Knocker. So hence why I got it in the green pumpkin shad color, which I do like this laminate style. And I'm going to rig this up for you and force myself to fish it sooner than later. Okay, so it comes out like all the way at the back of this hook slot, right? As I rig this up to the side, you can see that it comes out right at the back of that hook slot. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll show you just how well this pairs up. Not that I know yet until it's paired up, but don't say anything about me being super focused in rigging this. You guys used to give me a real hard time with that, but don't really want to trash this trailer on the first rigging, but it looks like I might be. That'll play. All right, so here she is. Green pumpkin shad Berkley Slobber Knocker with its matching 4.25 inch Power Stinger. Okay, I have not trimmed down the skirt on this, which I will a little bit, down to about the bottom of the hook. But I like the look of this. I'm going to fish it. I don't know if it has quite enough action, but maybe that's not a bad thing in colder water. When you consider where people have been using this most effectively so far, maybe this is a good pairing. I don't quite know, but I'm excited to try it out. So, sleeper for sure. Really? Caro in the house. How you doing tonight, Caro? Good to see you. No, man. I don't throw many lunker hunt baits really at all. Pretty subtle or natural. That was kind of my point. Maybe it's better in cold water than, say, a standard jackhammer. You know, the same logic as what we talked about recently, in that the Thunder Cricket is more like the flat side version of the jackhammer. So if you want a tighter vibration, a little bit more subtle presentation, or if the fish just stop eating the jackhammer as well, the Thunder Cricket is kind of a go-to second option for something slightly more subtle. But so far, what I've heard about the Slobber Knocker is that it performs better in heavier cover than the average bladed jig. Now, there are still plenty of bladed jigs, not plenty, but there are a few that are made to go into heavy cover, whether it's a weed guard on them or an EWG style hook. So I am curious to know for myself where the Slobber Knocker will fit into my arsenal of bladed jigs, because as you guys know, the chatterbait has been my most effective lure by a long shot for like 3 or 4 years running. Spunk shad is sweet, but also one that I don't have a ton of experience with. And for that reason, I've got this one with the new color combo from Missile rigged up on this jackhammer, ready to rock. Beehite Delight has probably been up there as one of my most productive colors historically, right with the Heights Hot Craw. Those two colors, if I could only have two, would probably be them. Black and blue is also absolutely deadly. All right, Brendan. It's not secret if it's anything big bite baits, all right? Because I've heard you talk about that before, and they're also popular. So, have I ever used a tube on a chatterbait? No, Matt, I have not. That is an interesting concept. I could definitely see myself doing that with the Kitech tubes, um, because they're a solid body tube. I think they would hold up on the keeper fairly well. But no, you guys know that I'm kind of a sucker for um, like the Z-Man Goat. I think is just such a fantastic trailer on a swim jig and on a bladed jig, and it's just so damn durable. I used one black and blue goat on a black and blue jackhammer 2 seasons ago and caught like, I don't know, 60 fish on the same exact bait and trailer without having to change the trailer before I finally just felt like tying something else on. It's not like it got to the end of its life by any means. Card game went late. No problem, Car. I'm glad to hear that you were playing cards. That's fun. What kind of games do you play? I'm a big card player myself. Adam already butted out of his card game. You guys, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. Don't be doing that. Gators Adventures, I use a 7.3 medium heavy, moderate fast. Most of the time. All right, cool, Brennan. Well, I'm curious for sure. I would doubt it, Caro, but the trench hog might come into play pretty soon around the spawn. Oh, Frank, what bait are you talking about, dude? What bait you talking about, Frank? I didn't see you chiming in earlier. You're just such a lurker that when you drop a comment, like, what are we talking about, man? And Mason and Denver's dad, dude, I'm sorry I'm missing your comments right now. Like, I'm not quite able to keep up with you. Talking about a sleeper bait. What was it? Oh, the Lunker Hunt? Okay. Interesting. Might have to look into it, but I just generally don't love Lunker Hunt. So we'll see. Frank's talking about tubes. I knew you were at work. Sorry. I'll stop giving you a hard time, but thank you. You figured out the headphone situation, huh? Interesting. So take a skirt off of a chatterbait and thread a tube on there. That's interesting. Very interesting. All right. Okay, next soft plastic. You guys probably have experience with this, and I do not. This is a Debo special right here that is new to Discount Tackle for whatever reason. I don't know why they didn't already have it, but this guy right here is the Reaction Innovations Pocket Rocket. And in retrospect, yes, I do remember why I don't have this bait, and it's because I don't like throwing soft plastic stick baits. All right. Frank, don't tell me that, Frank. If everybody on the bus is listening to me right now, go on to YouTube, search Hook Sets Are Free, and please do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications if you like anything fishing related. This right here is the Reaction Innovations Pocket Rocket. And as you can see, it is pretty basic soft plastic stick bait, except for the fact that it is very heavy for its size and has a unique taper to it. So this bait gets fatter in the middle of the front body, thinnest in the middle, perfect for wacky rigging, obviously, and then gets thick and heavy on this second side of the body. So this bait has a very natural and aggressive wiggle on the fall that I think a lot of people might argue is more effective than a Yamamoto Senko. That said, I haven't personally thrown it myself, and so I'm curious. I don't throw a lot of Senko style baits, but I could see myself throwing this around smallmouth or bedding bass, whether it's on a Texas rig as perhaps more of a flipping bait or just on a traditional wacky rig. But I will say this bait is heavy and makes me curious to compare alongside another bait. So let's pull out the, maybe that's not even fair. Let's just try it. So this guy right here is a 5.5-inch pocket rocket, and it weighs 0.44 ounces or 12.5 grams. That's pretty substantial. And what we're going to compare it to is the old 6-inch Bass Pro Sticko, which is 15.5 grams. And so the 6-inch Sticko has been arguably my go-to weightless wacky rig soft plastic stick bait for a handful of years. I like the slightly bigger profile. I like the fall of it. I find it to be pretty comparable to a Senko, and a little bit more durable and quite a bit more affordable. So that has been kind of my go-to stick bait, but I've heard nothing but good things about this bait, and it just became available at Discount Tackle in the last week or so. So I decided to pick up a pack of them. This color is called Soft Poppy, and this is part of why I do these live streams. Quite frankly, is to give you guys an actual preview. You can see right here that this looks quite a bit more like a, I don't know, blue craw, like a green pumpkin with some blue flash in there. It does have a little bit of variety in terms of the flake in there. Very thin flake, but see if you guys can see any of this show up. We've got some gold, some red, some purple in there. And it's a pretty natural color pattern, but not what I thought it was going to be. So let's pull this puppy up and show you the pocket rocket and this soft poppy color in terms of the picture, because I think you'll be surprised like I was when I first saw this. Pocket rocket stickworm, $6.25 a pack. I don't know that that's much discounted, but they make this in some cool colors. Dirty Sanchez is one that I was very tempted to get, given what I told you about the Beehite Delight jackhammer being so rock solid for me. But they make it in a green pumpkin. Payback is a pretty cool color, more of like a green pumpkin blue fleck. And Soft Poppy, look how natural and brown this looks in the picture here versus what you see right here. Looks quite a bit more green pumpkin-y than it does brown, at least in this lighting that I'm in right now, and most likely on camera to you guys. Brendan, I knew you guys might chime in with your own opinions on best colors when it comes to reaction innovations, and that's totally cool, right? I think we all have our own favorites. I really love the paycheck, blank check, Tramp Stamp, I am not a huge fan of, but I know a lot of people are. But for me, I'm not sharing. I thought I was sharing. For me, I really like the Hematoma, which is like a black blue swirl. And, looks like the blank check, which is more of like a black with like a bluish purple hue to it. I'll show you it in the Spicy Beaver. You could probably see straight through the package what this color looks like. I don't even need to pull them out. But it's a black with purple fleck. Zoom makes a color like that. You know, my favorite color by Reaction Innovations is the Warmouth, specifically in the Man Bear Pig. This Warmouth color is just dirty. I don't know why they don't make it in more of their baits, but it is such a cool and natural color. And you get a different amount of swirl in each one of these baits. But Reaction Innovations Pocket Rocket, add that to the collection because I didn't have it. And I thought I ought to give it a whirl and also let you guys know that it is now available at Discount Tackle. And I don't know how much longer they're going to last, because what I did notice when taking a look at them and cross-referencing over on Tackle Warehouse is that Tackle Warehouse has the majority of colors sold out in the 5.5-inch size. But here we've got Black and Blue, Dirty Sanchez, Green Pumpkin, Payback, Soft Poppy, Tramp Stamp, Violator, all available in the 5.5-inch size, which almost none of are available on Tackle Warehouse right now. So just something to keep in note, or keep note of, keep in mind. That's a good point, Brendan. Your best color, but not the best color. Black is probably the best. And Adam, yes, I do prefer to use an O-ring, but that's the one thing that maybe I was a little bit hesitant about with this bait, is that apparently it is not super easy to use an O-ring on. Now, I don't have my O-ring tool readily available, so I can't demonstrate right now, but I will do that in a stream soon, okay? Is show you how to put an O-ring on that 5.5-inch Pocket Rocket. Yeah, I do too. No, let's be honest, I do both. Under the band. Now I will crisscross two so that I can rig the hook sideways instead of up and down, unless I'm Nico rigging and I want the hook to be up. But for the sake of hookup ratio being as good as possible and being straight through the roof, I do like the cross of the O-rings, okay? But Daniel, that's a good point. I don't think I've thought to do that, and I don't know how accurate I would be in actually being able to pierce through the band both sides of the bait. And Matt makes a good point that he uses shrink wrap tubing, and it's super tough. Yeah, VMC with their crossover pliers and that crossover band definitely seems like a cool idea. I think it was reasonable that won an award at ICAST a couple of years ago, given that you can rig it either way you want. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next bait, but now my other daughter is down here, so I'm going to put you guys on mute and just let you look at some of the baits in the background. And maybe you guys can talk about this bait. Adam, I think Adam for a while was very interested in trying to get his hands on some of the Spro Rats. But this has been one of my best producing summertime lures over the last handful of seasons. and very good. So I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear the clicking in the background while I talk to my daughter and have a quick pee break. And then I'll be back for a glass of bourbon, the rest of this, and a little chat. I'm back. What's up, guys? Sorry about that. My 7-year-old is now awake or never went to sleep. So up pretty late, eh? Pretty crazy. I just told her she could do some reading to get sleepy. All right, I'm trying to get rid of the bubbles so that I can pour a bourbon into this same glass. Cheers, everybody. Heaven Hill, bottled in bond. I don't want to say it's one of my favorites, but this is a very good bourbon. This was a birthday present from a friend of mine who actually came up to Vail with us the last couple days. And he gave this to me last month, and I've just barely made a dent in it. So time to drink up. Cheers, Carl. Daniel, I have not seen the Arsenal Wacky Bands. Dude, I'm not a big wacky rigger. I already said that. But I am curious. Do tell. Feel free to inform me about that or send me a direct message on Instagram. Adam, why are you bringing up the super chunk? Chunk? You guys are talking about chunks? Okay. Tom says, Tyler, have you ever used a 5/8 inch O-ring doubled over on an O-ring tool? Yes, that is I don't know about the measurement, but that's what I typically do. At least I think. We can share photos after this about kind of how I typically rig my wacky rigs, but I would be happy to. That said, I don't know that I really need to be using O-rings because I don't fish them all that frequently. I don't fish wacky rigged Senkos or stick style baits all that often. I've really transitioned to throwing a Nico rig a lot more frequently and with more confidence than I throw a traditional wacky rig. After that, I'd probably throw a weighted wacky rig a little bit more than a weightless wacky or weightless Texas rigged stick bait, followed by, or before those, I probably throw a drop shot wacky rig, maybe the most in the last 2 years. I've gotten pretty confident in the drop shot, and that's probably not going to change this year. In fact, we're getting down toward the end of the package, but this right here, I've shown you guys recently. This is the NetBait / Set the Hook. Look at all that branding. American Bait Works owns NetBait and Set the Hook. These two bait companies have joined forces and put bait fuel into the pouring of these soft plastics. So the packaging is a little bit crazy with all the different brands listed on them, but this packaging is fantastic with the clamshell perfectly built around these baits to keep them perfectly straight and not warped. You see that it's got a flat bottom. Not a ton of scent in these. Obviously, bait fuel does not have any scent built in, but check these baits out. This is a super salty and super soft drop shot bait with a flat bottom. And so it's probably closest to like a Jackal crosstail shad. There are a ton of baits on the market that resemble that same profile, but very effective drop shot bait. This is in the smaller size, 3.75 inches. And I think this color, Naked Perch, not that you can see all that well, the color transition with more of like an orange top and a chartreuse belly, but this is a very cool color that I think smallmouth are going to go wild over, especially in that same place I was talking about that the smallies are, that I throw a lot of perch imitators. So that is specifically why I got this bait in this color. I think I've already got it in one, maybe two other colors, but this I'm pretty excited about. Daniel T has just been so on it and is definitely deserving of a reverse super chat. Daniel, I need to hook you up, brother. Thank you for doing what you do. All right. And then I've got two miscellaneous items in here. These are really nothing super exciting. Adam might be excited about this, but these are the Departure Outdoors tungsten weights in the 1/16 ounce size and in the green pumpkin color. So pretty cool that they had the green pumpkin in stock. These were on super sale, only in this size. So $2.99 a pack for 5 in the pack. That's a pretty good deal at 60 cents per weight for a tungsten weight in the green pumpkin color. And the cooler part about them is that they actually stamp the weights on the weights. That sounds weird, but they stamp the size on the weight. Wow, it's just so small. Let's see if I can show you that. Wow, it's so small. Here we go. Come on, be the one. Oh, you could kind of see that. It says 116. Wow, that is so close. Close to focusing. Oh, wants to do it. 116. Very, very little, right? I don't know why I did that. But just so you can see on my fingertip, really small. Really small. But 1/16 is going to come into play in a number of scenarios with very lightweight lures, small 3 to 4 inch soft plastics where you just need a little bit of weight, but maybe you want to Texas rig it instead of throw a nail weight in the nose of the bait. Maybe, maybe not. I'll report back on that, dude. That's the one thing you forgot to add to the order. Well, dude, maybe what I'll do is send you like 5 of these weights, a couple in green pumpkin and a couple in black, so that you've got your own pack, but a mixed bag, in addition to a number of other things. We can talk about that offline, and I'll send you a package. Now, that said, I probably sound like a phony because I owe Matt and Caro and Brendan and one other gentleman from a giveaway. And I'm probably a horrible person for not having sent those out yet, but maybe tomorrow, if not Monday. Hold me accountable on that, guys. I have the stuff. I just haven't actually closed the boxes and put the labels on so that I can make a quick trip to the store, and I need to do that. So hold me accountable, please. Last thing in this package is a pack of skirts. The Z-Man banded skirts. Okay. $3.82 for a pack of 5 skirts. Nothing super special about that, but I do have a couple of swim jig heads that I want to put these on. And I like the color here in this Pearl Ghost. Let's see if I can pull one of them out without pulling the entire pack out to show you. Well, fudged up the whole pack, but dang it. Didn't want to tangle them all that bad. But this pearl white color is essentially this skirt right here that you get on this Midwest Finesse swim jig. And I think it's going to go quite well on a lot of different swim jigs. So what I do is I take these skirts and I will thread them up onto a swim jig or a chatterbait, and then I will wire tie and cut off the band, because I find that with banded skirts, they will last a limited period of time before that band itself wears out, breaks down, and the entire skirt comes loose. So I prefer to hand tie my own, but I find it useful to be able to pre-rig this up onto a jig head. I don't know if I've got a good one here to be able to show you, but let's see if I do. Well, maybe not the best examples, but here, I'm not going to do it on this one because I want this bait for a 3-inch soft plastic swim bait specifically, but I will do it on, say, one of these two. Not sure if you guys know by now, but I am a fan of the Strike King Squadron head swim bait jig heads. It's a very straightforward jig head, right? Made for more of like an Alabama rig than anything else. But I like the placement of the weight. I like how heavy wire the hook is. And so I'll just show you, you take a bare jig head like this, you take the skirt, invert it so that you're going in with the longer side and you've got the shorter side down below. And then you're just going to shove that bad boy up onto where the skirt is designed to go. Okay. And then we fix her up and spread that skirt properly so that it is evenly distributed on the top layer. Because it does want to twist around and get kind of chunked up in certain areas. And that's normal, right? And so then this is what she looks like before we flip it over. That looks like a really small head on there, huh? Because that's that 1/4 ounce, maybe even 1/8 ounce. And then I'll fix up the bottom of the skirt before then coming in, and I will throw this on a vise. And I will use thread first to tie this down tight, and then come in and separate these. And I will cut off the band and then tie with thread tight all the way down. So I'm covering the entire portion that this band is where it's designed. Where did I just put that other head? So you'll see that this keeper is designed to hold a skirt, in my opinion, better than a bait. And so I will wire tie all the way from here, or thread. I will use thread and tie it all the way on here. So wrap all the way back to the edge here. And that will cause the bottom portion of the skirt to flare out as opposed to lay down. And then over the top of all of that thread, I will wrap it around with wire probably 5 times and get a nice clean wire tied keeper on there. And that way it doesn't wear out nearly as quickly. But I do like to use kind of these custom skirts on a variety of different jig heads. So that is something that I do and have been doing more as of late. It's a very cost-effective way to make your own swim jigs. And maybe they're weedless, maybe they're not. This one is not. And so sometimes I will put my own weed guard on those. Sometimes I will kind of customize the skirt and play around. It just gives you a lot more versatility in terms of what you can do. I only grabbed this one because it was the closest one around, but I do also really like the 6th Sense Divine swim jig heads. Like this guy right here is weedless. A little bit harder to get up on there because of that screw lock, but you can force it over there, or you can just cut the band off the skirt and you can lay it over here and you can tie it down. Okay. But that is kind of what I had in mind for those pearl white, or should I say pearl ghost banded skirts. So that does it for this month's unboxing. As you can see, we got kind of a lot of stuff in here, and I still only spent $84, right? So we got some tried and trues. We got some total weird new stuff. And we got some terminal tackle. $84, and I'm not mad about it. So tell me what you think about that. Very kind of like random choosing in terms of what this unboxing was made up of. When you consider, we got the Lucky Craft massive jerkbait in the Pointer 128, and I mostly got it because of the laser rainbow trout color pattern. Same deal with this Yo-Zuri Top Knock pencil in the 4-inch. And, then we mix it up a little bit with a few other things, especially with this weird Nomad Swim Trex. Nomad Squid Trex soft plastic vibe squid, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited about that. Couple packs of soft plastics. Another color of the Shimano Macbeth flat side. Trying out the one knocker from Yo-Zuri. And yeah, I like the variety. What do you guys think? You guys are moving so fast in the comments that I can't keep up with you. But for the second time recently, I am excited to see Ray in the house and actually commenting once or twice. Thank you, Ray. Good to see you in here. Cheers. I know you don't drink, but happy St. Patrick's Day to you. I say cheers because it's exciting to see you in here, man. All right, Matt, what did you say about USPS? What? USPS does pickup? I haven't done that, but that's not going to make me do it. Dude, you guys just got to keep me accountable. Check on me. Ask me tomorrow if I have sent out the baits, and if I haven't, ask me again Sunday. Remind me, say, hey, tomorrow's the day you got to get out. Because I'm with my kids the next 3 days in a row, and there should be an opportunity to make a trip to the post office. All right. That's just where we're at. The great Hook Sets Are Free giveaway of 1987. You're right. Hey, should I remind you what's coming up in an upcoming giveaway? I'm going to gather a really cool spring giveaway pretty soon, guys. I'll show you a few of the things that are going in that. All right. So I'll probably post this on Instagram. Maybe I say that, but I haven't been on Instagram in forever. But guys, check out some of these things that I am going to give away soon. And this is only some of the things, right? I've got twice as much, if not more than that, over there ready to give away. In addition to another unopened bottle of bait fuel unwrapped over there. But we've got a Wigglewort in the Phantom Brown Craw. We've got a Hybrid Hunter Jr. in a couple different colors. This is the green gizzard color. We've got a 6th Sense Axis in the Tiger Truce color. And while you're at it, the 13 Fishing Jabberjaw in this gold color that they call Goldilocks. And we've got VMC bladed hybrid treble hooks. I don't know why you need a size 8. Maybe I shouldn't give those away. The Zoom Beatdown in one of my favorite colors, Electric Shad. Maybe I gave away a pack of these like a year ago, but this bait right here, guys. If you don't throw the Zoom Beatdown, I don't know what you're doing. This is a very unsuspecting bait, but it's deadly. Okay. It was perhaps one of the first like truly salt-free baits that Zoom made. This is a It's a Ned rig bait that stands up fairly well, but in my opinion, it does remarkably well on a drop shot on a wacky rig. No, Ray. Don't do that, Ray. I think this is the one you gave me. I've fished this one, dude. Did you give me a Tiger Truce one? I think I at one point had forgotten that I bought that color and bought a second one of it, or maybe I'd fished it a few times and I liked the action and the color of it, but found that the paint was chipping off a little bit quickly, and so I bought a second one. Ultimately, it went into the giveaway pile, not because I don't like it though. Zoom Beatdown. Magdraft in the 5-inch, which I probably shouldn't be giving away, but I was feeling generous when I purchased these. This is the albino pearl shad color in the 5-inch, which is a really rare size to find on a regular basis. And then the 6-inch Magdraft in the freestyle and in the brownie color. So that's just some of the things that I have sitting over there in the giveaway pile. But I want to do the giveaway right. I want to give a bunch of people a chance and not just the 17 of you guys necessarily. Because let's be honest, we do these streams for fun. We do these to hang out. This doesn't help grow the channel. I haven't done anything to help grow my channel in the last year or two. So just being honest. But Ray, you did not send me 3 or 4 different colors. You maybe sent me one. Straight up. I have 3 or 4 different colors, but that's because I bought them. You might have sent me one. But I definitely bought this 4K bluegill, as well as this black magic color. But I don't have a ton of them. I've got this shad scales one as well. But I think I've only got like 4 or 5 of the Axis. And then I've got a bunch of the Jabberjaws, which I've said time and time again, I like better than I like the Axis. Oh, Ray, you're absolutely right. You guys are the 17 best of all of the bunch. That is no doubt. You guys are definitely the best. So, Dave, I don't know exactly when that giveaway is going to fire up. Oh, and as I look over here, Brendan, you were right. Indeed. America times 100. Who needs a discount tackle sticker? I will include a discount tackle sticker in all of your packages coming. Matt and Caro and Brendan and now Daniel as well. So discounts, discount tackle, America. That is a stack and a half. All right. No, man. I'm hoping tomorrow I'm sending them out. If not by Monday. But the giveaway, I don't know exactly when that's going to transpire. I want it to be relevant to spring. I want to get back into a rhythm of posting on Instagram. I want it to be about the content I want to put out as opposed to what Instagram wants me to put out. And that kind of power struggle has been difficult for me to get over the last year since I've been on Instagram. So it's time for me to get back on the platform. What's a pack of Smackdowns, Ray? You might have sent me like a Movement 80X, but not multiple axes, dude. Pretty sure you sent me. And this was like back in the day when you and Riley sent me a few things, but pretty sure you sent me this Movement in the Sexy Shad. Pretty sure you sent me this Yo-Zuri jerkbait. Was it you that labeled this bill with Sharpie to let you know the diving depth? It says 3 foot on the bottom of the bill. And then maybe you sent me a Curve 55, but I don't know if you did. Either way, you did send me some cool baits, and I super appreciate that. I'm not disagreeing with that. You are a good friend, Ray, despite the fact that we haven't talked much over the last year or two. But the Axis, I bought most of those. So, yeah, the Movement, yes. And a couple of other baits. You sent me, at the time, was probably like one of the, if not the best packages I received from a subscriber. So I super appreciate you. But I might go back and rewatch that stream, but you didn't send me multiple axes. All right. So, Matt, that is a good question. It has been like hit or miss, right? Like I was up in the mountains last week, this entire last week, and it got warm down here in Denver. But we got back last night and it was cold. So as I'm looking at it, the next week looks pretty decent, dude. Let me show you. All right. So we've got the lows are in the teens, 20s, 30s, 20s. So that's not ideal for warming water temps. But the highs are going to be in the 50s. That's good. So it's going to be a mixed bag. We'll have some days, even like in a week from now, where it's going to be rain/snow and a high of 34. So that's not ideal, right? But I'm hoping that the warm weather between now and then will thaw enough and warm some water up to where it's just going to be like a cold snap more than anything. But dude, that's insane. Nothing below 50s, including at night. That blows my mind. Ray, nice. Yeah, I remember that, dude. That was when they were super hot, right? I still have a couple that are unopened, if we're being honest. Boom. There's your 1-2 combo of the Grass Ripper and the Jackhammer Fire Craw. Swim jig, chatterbait. Swim jig, chatterbait. That's a 1-2 punch if I've ever seen one. Oh, what a cutie. I forgot that this little guy I hadn't unopened, but this is one that Adam Odin talks about kind of frequently on his streams. And this is the Megabass. Shoot, what is it? It confuses me because this is like the Japanese version of it. But this is the Siglet in the smallest version. They call it GH Haruzemi. Look at this little bug bait. I mean, it's the Grand Siglet, and I think if I was Adam, I would say and it's got a little fuzz on the top, on the bottom. So here's the top of the bait, and then here's the bottom. Ooh, look at all that fuzz. So this has plastic wings. This is like one of the most subtle crawler style baits on the market. This is really a panfish style bait, but super cute. I think this could be deadly for trout as well. It's got this just double hook on the bottom that I will probably replace with a small treble hook as opposed to this guy, but I will have to add a split ring to add a treble because, you know, double hooks are weird and they can just be put on without a treble hook. But Nano Siglet. Adam has the Bumblebee one. Adam has talked about that a number of times. Look, it says Yuki Ito on the top of the bait. Super cute. Got that from the Hookup Tackle. I don't know how long ago, 6 months ago, but fur finish. Harozemi. Pretty cool. I totally forgot about that and some of these other baits in here. Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember? Oh, yeah. So there's that Grand Siglet. Almost forgot that I had bought the Swing Hot. And then, do you guys remember when I opened these baits from my grandpa? Whoo! Some OGs. You see that. You see that. And more specifically, do you see that? I think there were only a couple of them in here, but good colors nonetheless. I'm like kind of nervous to throw these, even though they're probably going to be fish catching machines. But the only OG Wiggleworts that I own, as well as a Storm Fatso, the Thin Fin Fatso. Very high pitch rattle in that guy. And one of the OG Rebel Craw R or Wee Craw. That just, it feels different, like it's made from a different material. But it's the same bait. I just don't know if it was made differently or from a slightly different material, but it's that same mold, same bill. Yeah, I got those from my grandpa. Jeez. Old school stuff. But I forgot that I opened these. And even like these, I should sell these, right? These saltwater Barracuda super dudes that are in good shape that, like, I don't think I would ever throw, but my grandpa owned and didn't use, and like they sell for a pretty penny on eBay. Nice, Brendan. Dude, I'm excited for you. Your paint skills are fantastic, dude. Adam loves Rebel. I think there might have been a Rebel or two that I wanted to show you recently, dude. I wonder if we should check Discount Tackle. I don't know if it was on there or not, but let's check. We can check together. I'll let you guys in as I'm browsing. So I just literally searched Rebel on Discount Tackle. So they got the Bumblebug, solid. The Helgermite is one that I don't really ever hear anybody talking about. Looks weird for sure. You got that frog, teeny frog, walking frog, buzzing frog. Take it easy. So I think it was just that pack that they... Nothing new, actually. So I do really like the track down minnows. Yeah, maybe it was these that I was just wondering about. Like, I hadn't tried these before. The F82 square bill in these pretty wild bluegill patterns. Fire tiger, natural bluegill, and albino bluegill. These baits, wait a sec. These are 2.5-inch quarter-ounce square bills.
So the Rebel bluegill has a lot of unique design characteristics. First of all, it has a square lip, which means it will deflect off cover. This square bill allows it to hit rocks and deflect, and it won't hang up. It keeps the hooks above the cover, and when it makes contact, it'll flip or roll over. So very important when you're fishing a lot of shallow cover to have a square bill. Another characteristic of the bluegill, it has a casting chamber that goes from the front of the lure to the back of the lure. There's a chamber and there's a weight that goes from the front to the back. So when you cast it, the weight goes to the back.
It kind of looks like an old Bagley.
Rotate when you're casting. It makes you have longer casting distances. And then when you engage it, it'll actually create a little rattle and stabilize the lure and give it running depth. All are equipped with 2 number 6 treble hooks that are barbless. So no barbs on these. You can fish them in any special regulations area.
I appreciate
really
that.
Safe lure for children to use or new anglers. If they get hooked accidentally, the barbs won't bury up in their skin because there are no barbs. So it's a very safe lure that anyone can use. That's a barbless 8D.
You already said that, bruh.
With body water and catch a...
So honestly, that bait looked smaller than I thought. I'm kind of surprised. 2.5-inch bait, and they come in a 3-pack for cheap, right? What was that? $16. What? Get out of here. That's not that great of a deal. I forget what I was gonna say or what I saw from Rebel recently. Don't know. That Rebel Raider looks a little bit interesting right there in the upper right-hand corner. Shad body with no bill, and it's a micro bait. So it's a twitch bait.
Today we're just going to go back to the basics. Now I've got a small bait, ultralight rod. We're just fishing a little creek. I've never fished here before.
Don't
and
really
I'll
have
just twitch
any
it.
underwater.
Have a little bit of slack in the line, and that slack combined with that twitch is going to make that bait dart back and forth in the water. Back and forth in the water. And with that twitch is going to make that bait dart back and forth in the water.
Man. I don't know. A lot of times it's hard to be sold by underwater footage like that, but dude, Ray, I'll hook you up with some beatdown worms. Why don't you hit me up on the side? Dude, it's been so long since we've talked. But I appreciate you joining in. It feels good to have you in here, man. So even though maybe I haven't used the lures that you sent me very much, I still do super appreciate them. I remember them and you well. I mean, obviously you have a thing for sexy shad, so maybe I could find, or you did, but we can talk about that, and I can send you a couple things that that suit you well. Oh, you dropped a link earlier? All right. Let me try and pull this up. You found the old video, dude? How? But Ray, you have a great rest of your night. I don't know where the link is that you're talking about. And it's the Zoom beatdown, not the Zoom smackdown. All right. All right. Send me a separate message. You haven't thrown an Axis or the fire. Ray, no. That's not why I sent it, dude. And I know you didn't send me these baits to not be thrown either. But Sexy Shad is not my, it's not a confidence color for me at this point in time. I threw the Movement 80X in a couple of other colors and was just thrown for a loop with really all of these baits. So I've got like 5 different colors of the Movement 80X. Yes, that I purchased myself. I know you sent me that Sexy Shad, but I had heard nothing but good things about the Movement 80X. It's got kind of a unique, slightly subdued rattle, but this bait is a wild swimmer. The Axis is too. As is this dude. The L-Bill. What does 6 Cents call their L-Bill? I should know. It's not the Hybrid Hunter from Striking. It's the Swank. The Swank. The Swank 77. I prefer the Swank 66, which I do have some of as well. But those bigger size 6 Cents crankbaits are just wild. They swim so wide. And I'm used to a crankbait that wiggles or wobbles and doesn't swim and wander. It's one thing if it has a hunting action, right? And it works its way back to center. But when it's just swimming like this, usually that's too much for my fish. At least so far, to the point where I don't have a tremendous amount of confidence in those. So when I see a bait like, the Norman Speed End or Speed End Junior come out, something like this appeals to me a lot more because of its bill and its round but almost semi-flat body, its ability to be burned, and it runs tight. This thing is not all over the place, and it's certainly not swinging and not running true. Dude, Ray, you just texted me and I got a notification on my phone. That is sick. Ray, you have an awesome rest of your night. Megabass 110 Junior in Sexy Shad is all you can get them to bite this week. Interesting. So Sexy Shad is your deal, huh? Well, let's talk about that more because I can send you a thing or two in a Sexy Shad color. But interesting to know. Looks like you guys are starting to dip out of here, and I need to too. It's getting late, and I need to pee for a second time. I don't want to be that guy peeing twice on the same live stream. So, guys, super appreciate you hanging out tonight. I'm sorry I haven't managed the comments as well as normal. Part of that's because I was doing an unboxing. My brain's been all over the place, and I don't have a good reason otherwise. So sorry about that. But I do want to start making these a little bit more topic specific. And I think I'm also just going to start posting more normal videos of, say, 5 or 10 baits of this style that you ought to be throwing, or that you ought to be aware of, or that are forgotten, or that are new, as well as some lure reviews. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. It's been fun. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for me. Can't believe there's 20 people in here right now at the end of 2 hours on here. So, appreciate y'all, and see you soon. Maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. Bye.